A woman messaged me on Facebook and said, "I think our husbands are the same person." I stared at the message for a full minute, thinking it must be some kind of scam or a strange joke from someone I did not know. The profile belonged to a woman named Yolanda Brennan. We had no mutual friends. She lived 3 states away, according to her location. I had never seen her face before in my entire life. I typed back, asking what she meant by that message. She responded immediately with a photograph. It was my husband Darren standing next to her at what looked like a wedding reception. He was wearing a tuxedo I had never seen before. His arm was wrapped around her waist. They were both smiling at the camera like the happiest couple in the world. The photo was dated 8 months ago. 8 months ago, Darren told me he was at a business conference in Denver for 5 days. I scrolled through Yolanda's profile with my heart pounding violently in my chest. There were dozens of photos of her and Darren together. Going back over 3 years, vacations I never knew about, holiday dinners with her family, a photo of them holding up keys in front of a house I had never seen before. She had posted their wedding photos 2 years ago. At the same year, Darren and I celebrated our 5th anniversary together. I called her immediately. She answered on the second ring and her voice sounded just as shattered as I felt. "How long have you been married to him?" I asked. 3 years. We met at a charity event. He told me he was a widower, that his first wife died in a car accident. My hands were trembling so badly, I could barely hold the phone. He told me the same story when we met, said his first wife died of cancer. Yolanda started crying on the other end. "I found your profile by accident. I was looking at his tagged photos and saw one from your account. I recognized him immediately, even though he looked younger." We talked for 4 hours that night, comparing stories, comparing lies, comparing the elaborate double life my husband had been living for years without either of us suspecting anything. He had 2 phones, 2 separate email accounts, 2 different identities. He traveled constantly for work, which gave him the perfect cover to move between his 2 families seamlessly. Yolanda and I decided to confront him together. We planned everything carefully over the following week. She flew to my city and we met at a coffee shop first. Seeing her in person made everything feel horrifyingly real. She was kind and funny and clearly loved the same man I did. Neither of us deserved what he had done to us. We invited Darren to dinner at a restaurant downtown. I told him I had a surprise for him. When he walked in and saw both of us sitting at the same table, his face went completely white. He actually turned around and tried to leave, but we had anticipated that. Yolanda's brother was waiting by the door. He escorted Darren back to our table firmly. We sat there for 2 hours, forcing him to explain himself. He tried every excuse imaginable. He claimed he was going to tell us both eventually. He claimed he loved us equally and could not choose. He claimed we were both better off not knowing the truth. None of it made any sense. None of it mattered anymore anyway. What we discovered next was even worse. While digging through his finances together, Yolanda and I found evidence of a 3rd woman in another state. He had been engaged to her for 6 months. She had no idea he was already married twice. We contacted her immediately and she was devastated beyond words. Darren was arrested 2 weeks later for bigamy and fraud. He had been collecting life insurance policies on all 3 of us without our knowledge. The investigator said he had done this before in other states under different names and had been running from warrants for over a decade. Yolanda and I both filed for divorce and testified against him together in court. She